So yesterday we talked a little bit about probability. Today we are going to look at a couple things that we need to memorize that is going to make our lives easier. So, for example, when you flip a coin, what are your options?
50.
Heads or tails. All right, now, do they still, with COVID, girls, y'all have played a game. I don't know if the boys have. Do y'all still go to the plate and call heads or tails for the field, or you don't do that? Even at tournaments, you don't do that?
Home team gets
Home.
Caitlin Moore, come check out Caitlin Moore.
Okay, well, so what about in volleyball? We call it too, right? You have to go to the net. Who is tails never fails, and you pick tails every time?
No.
Oh my God, me and Britton have that in common. I'm just kidding. Who y'all are tails never fails? Always pick so the rest of y'all pick heads.
Yeah.
Tails never fails.
Heads has a head on it. And it's Mr. George Washington, the best president ever.
Are you sure? All right. So when we flip a coin, what is the fraction probability of getting heads?
0.5.
What is the fraction?
50-50. One half. 1/2.
1/2. There are two sides of the coin, and we want it to land on heads. What is the fraction probability of it landing on tails?
0.5.
Thank you. Shh. All right. So, or you could also do the decimal or the percentage version. Does anybody have a question on that? All right, moving on. If you have this little die, is technically what it's called. We call it dice, but really dice is plural. Yeah. A number cube is sometimes what it says in your math book. So when I roll this, what are my possible outcomes?
About 1 out of 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are my possible outcomes. So they may ask you, what is the probability of rolling a 3?
1 out of 8.
There are 6 possible options. How many of those options will make me a winner? 1 of them. What number will make me a winner? 3. So the probability of getting a 3, how many winning numbers are there? 1. Now, I heard somebody say a very common mistake. Some people want to say the probability of getting a 3 is 3 out of 6. But, all right, why do people want to say 3 out of 6? Because the number you're trying to get is 3, but that is not correct. And it would just be that there is one. Why is that not erasing? I don't know. It would just be 1 3 out of 6 possible numbers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Another way they may ask it is what is the probability of getting a number greater than 4?
2 and 6.
What 2 numbers would make you a winner?
5 and 6.
5 and 6, and so that would be 2 out of the 6 numbers. Questions about that? What number always goes on the bottom? Thank you, who said it? House Point, remind me in a minute. The total options goes on the bottom. All right, last thing on this part is the probability of rolling an even number. What numbers up there would make you a winner? 2, 4, and 6. Let's just memorize this so we don't ever have to figure it out. What is the probability of getting an even number? 3 out of 6 or 1/2. Half of the numbers are even, which means that the probability of getting an odd number,
It's 50%.
why is it 50%?
Because there's 6 numbers in there.
Because it's the other 3 numbers. It's the other half. Any question about rolling a dice?
No, ma'am.
No.
All right, good. Hold on one second. For those of y'all that may not be as familiar with a deck of cards, they love to ask card questions with probability. So just to review very, very quickly. In a deck of cards, you have 52 total. Okay, and we're going to use the times table. 4 times 13 is 52 to work all these problems. Because we've got 13 cards and we've got 4 different suits. So 4 times 13 makes the 52 total cards. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So one of the questions they may ask you is, what is the probability if you draw one card that it's red?
A 1 out of 52.
What? Half of them are red. Can you look up there and see that half the deck's red?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is the probability of getting a black card?
50%.
Half. So don't make those hard. Okay, on a deck of cards, half of them are red, half of them are black. Are we good?
Yes.
All right. Next thing is a deck of cards is broken into what's called suits. You've got clubs, spades, hearts, and diamonds. Technically, the probability of drawing a diamond is 13, because there's 13 cards, out of 52. But if we go ahead and reduce it and just think about the suits, how many different suits are there? 4. And so the probability of getting a diamond is 1 out of 4. Okay, correct. What is the probability of drawing a heart? 1 out of 4. Let's use the fractions because it's visual. What is the probability of getting a spade? 1 out of 4. And what is the probability of getting a club? 1 out of 4. All right, good so far. All right. Now, there is only one of each card. So there's only one ace of spades. There's only one 9 of hearts. So if I said, what is the probability of drawing the 5 of diamonds? What is the probability?
1 out of 52.
1 out of 52. Because there's 52 cards and only one of them is the 5 of diamonds. What is the probability of drawing the Queen of Hearts?
1 out of 52.
1 out of 52. What is the probability of drawing the Jack of Clubs?
1 out of 52.
1 out of 52. Does that make sense?
Is that?
Okay. Now, this last one is the trickiest for me to remember. So this is the hardest one for me to kind of remember. But let's say that I tell Cooper, if you can draw a king, you're a winner. Well, how many kings are there?
4.
4 out of 52. Or you can think of it in reduced terms. If you just look at one of the set of cards, there is one king in each set. So that would be 1 out of 13. So the probability of getting a king, any king, is 4 out of 52, but it's really 1 out of 13. Because each set has a 1 out of 13 chance. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the probability of getting a 5?
1 out of 52.
No, any 5.
1 out of 4 out of 52.
4 out of 52 or 1 out of 13. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So get out the sheet. So on the back of this sheet that we did yesterday, look at number 5. It says, what is the probability of getting a number greater than 4? Well, dang, we just did that one. What are my options?
1 and 6.
1 and 10, 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 6.
To be a winner, what number do I need to roll?
4.
It would be 1 and 6. 2.
1,
2, 6.
1 and 3.
It had to be 1 out of 6.
1 half. 1, 6.
Stop.
It'd be 1/3.
What is the probability of getting a number greater than 4?
1/3.
What numbers would make us win?
2, 6.
5 and 6. How many winning numbers are there?
2.
How many total?
6.
Now, when we get right there, some of y'all are really, really good at reducing. If you reduce it, it gives you the answer. If you do not like reducing, which some of us don't, you need to change it to a decimal. How do I change that to a decimal?
You divide by 0.
2 divided by 6, and that gives me 0.3 repeating. What answer choice is 0.3 repeating? Very good. Go down to number 6. It says a set of cards has each letter of the alphabet. To be able to do this problem, you have to know how many letters are in the alphabet. 26. The cards are placed in a hat. What is the probability that you get a card that has a vowel and then they were kind enough to remind you what the vowels are? How many vowels are there? You have 5 chances to be a winner. So B would be correct. All right, go up to the top. The top is dealing with the deck of cards that we just talked about. Please do not say the answer out loud because some people just learned about cards. They may not have known. All right, so look at number 1. Don't say it out loud. What is the probability of getting a red card? Put down what you think. How many red ones are there?
5.
Half of them are red. So what is the probability of getting red? 1/2 is correct. Good. All right, don't say anything. Take a minute to think. What is the probability of, don't say it out loud. Thank you. Of getting a 6 of diamonds. A 6 of diamonds. Hannah, what'd you get?
8.
Why? Very good. There's only 1 6 of diamonds. Very good job. Very good. All right, number 3 says you are going to pick a 7, an 8, a 9, or a 10 to be a winner. It can be any suit. 7, 8, 9, or 10 makes you a winner. Is this problem going to be easier to think about the whole deck or just one section, one suit? One suit. Jax, what'd you get? 4 out of 13. If you thought about the entire deck of cards, there's 4 of each kind. So you could have done 16 out of 52, but then you would have had to reduce it. So it's definitely easier to think of it just in one suit. It would be C. All right? And then the last one says randomly selecting a card that is not a king. How many cards are not a king in each suit?
12 out of 13.
12 out of 13. Very good.